So let's say I want to prepare a quick forecast for my Superstore sales. Let's go ahead and open that data set. It's an Excel data set, Global Superstore orders. And for the purposes of this forecast, I only need the orders table. So I'm going to drag that in. And Tableau will spend a minute processing that and then show me a preview of the data. Because that's all I need, I can now go straight to a worksheet. I'll go ahead and change this to sales forecast. And as you can see, Tableau gives that title, the worksheet title as the default title to your visualization. All right, so first thing I'll do is I'm going to bring in sales. So I want to know how many sales I have. And then I want to find the time variables I have. And in this case, I've got order date and I've got ship date. I'm going to choose ship date because that's when I can actually recognize the revenue. So here we go, 2012. 13, 14, 15, 16, really low. So basically we don't have a lot of data in 2016. The year has just begun. Most likely we have a few transactions for the year of 2016, but more or less complete for the previous years. Let's break that down by month so we get a better feel for that. And here we can see September, October, November goes up. December down, January very low. Let's look at previous years. So October, November, December. October, November, December. October, November, December. So we see kind of a trend where November sales increase, December sales increase on top of that. That looks a little different in November or December 2015. So we may want to think about that for a minute as we see how we want to forecast. So first thing, let's just go ahead and pop that forecast in, and we go to the Analytics tab over there on the left, and I'll click and drag forecast in, and Tableau builds a forecast for me. All right. So you can see it starts with January, then February, March, April, May, June, etc. So it goes out a full year. As a matter of fact, I've got a number of categories for my products. So let's go ahead and add category to our analysis. So I'm going to bring that in, and that gives me three lines of sales activity by category. I'll go ahead and bring that in by for the color as well. So now I have a different color for each one. I can see furniture, or office supplies, and technology. All right. So let's see what we can do. Under forecast, I can turn it on or off. And I just right-clicked anywhere in the visualization. I can also select different options for my forecast. So by default, in this case, it went a forward 1 year, 12 months. I can actually specify how far to take it into the future. So let's say I only want to let's do 6 months instead of 12 months. The next option, I can aggregate a number of different ways. I can aggregate by the different ways. And here's one of the important pieces. Let's put this back to automatic for the 12 months. By default, Tableau ignores the last 1 month worth of data that it finds. So we had a tiny trickling of sales for January. All right. So it ignored that and it went ahead and forecasted January. Now, I can tell Tableau, I can adjust this and say, well, it's possible we didn't fully record all of December's sales yet as well. So let's go back and ignore the last 2 months. And you can see what happens. Tableau now is going to try and forecast December full sales as well as January, February, and so on. All right. And you can see there are a number of choices here for which model it uses to forecast. The automatic model is default. I could say, well, take the seasonality out. I just want a straight line forecast, in which case Tableau ignores seasonality and puts the forecast together for me that way. But retail sales, seasonality definitely is a better option. And then I can tell it which approach to use specifically for the overall trend and the seasonality component of it. So we go back to automatic, and I could also show different confidence levels. It defaults to 95. Let's say I wanted to go to 90. That'll tighten up my forecast range. If I want to go to, I'm super confident of this interval, well, then 99. So let's take it back to 90, and let's say, that's a good tight range. Let's say that's a range we're comfortable with our prediction. So we'll stick with that for okay. And you can see what happens is I've got my sales, I've got my range. So that's a real quick overview on how you can put a forecast together using Tableau. So I hope you find it useful, and let's get back to other things we can do with Tableau.